What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And today we're going to be talking about the Escape from LOGUETOWN event. This event is not a grinding event at all. This is just an event you have to play once just to get it over and done with, and you get some pretty decent rewards by doing so. When you first log into the game, there's going to be a 30 stamina difficulty, which is a 5-star difficulty. Then you've got a 40 stamina, which is 9 stars, and then you have a 50 stamina, which is 11 stars. Now remember, before you even clear it, as soon as you enter the dungeon, remember, because it's the first time that you're going to be taking it on, it costs 0 stamina. So literally this whole event can cost you no stamina whatsoever, which is great. So let's just quickly go through, of course, the rewards that you're going to be receiving by completing this. Now, you need to go ahead and complete each of these to unlock the next difficulty. So you'll start off with some really low tier rewards, but then you're going to get to a relatively good one. So you've got 2 gems for completing the first one. You get 3 gems for completing the second one, and then 5 gems for completing the third one. And on top of that, if you complete the second difficulty, you get your hands on some cotton candies and additional rainbow gems as well. And then you also have this one. So if you clear the final difficulty with a Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Usopp, and Sanji all on your team at the same time, you get your hands on the Straw Hat Pirates, which is a really powerful support unit. So you get given 6 of them, so you can get 1 copy, and then you feed all of the rest of the units to itself to max out the support effect. So the captain ability is a flat 2.5 captain, nothing special there. 13 turn max cooldown, changes adjacent slots into matching, and then also reduces bind, despair, and paralysis by 3 turns. Nothing too crazy there, but then the support effect is what is so good. So it supports Chopper, Robin, Frankie, and Brook. So basically the other Straw Hats that are not in this unit, but it's fantastic because it will go ahead and resist 2 turns of bind, paralysis, and despair whenever you are inflicted with it. It's essentially the same support effect as version 1 Rayleigh and Corazon Legends. It's the exact same support effect, but it just supports Chopper, Robin, Frankie, and Brook. But there is a downside to this unit, and that is the fact that if you run this character on your team, you literally cannot run any other Nami, Sanji, Chopper, or not, well, you can run a Chopper, it depends on what other units you have, but you can't run any of these Straw Hats on this unit on your team as well, because there's no overlap in Treasure Cruise, so that's a big downside to the character. But across the board, if you're not using any of the Straw Hats, and you have a Chopper, Robin, Frankie, and Brook, or Brook on your team, you can have a powerful support effect that can get rid of really annoying debuffs. So make sure to get this done. I have 4 separate teams for you guys in this video today, and without further ado, let's get into it. So some other information about this dungeon is that all of them are relatively the same. In terms of gimmicks that you have to take into consideration, they're all essentially the same. It's just that the bosses will have slightly more turns of gimmicks, or the fact that they'll have more HP compared to the lower difficulties, right? So it's essentially the same thing. So if you've got a team that can clear the 11-star difficulty, you can clear all the other ones. So, you know, as long as you follow one of these teams, or there are plenty of other teams out there that utilize somewhat the same characters, just in different formations or with different support effects and stuff like that. But the key units that help you a lot in this dungeon is Raid Zoro, or Clash Zoro, which I've been telling many people, make sure to farm him up because he is just an exceptional character. Uso Hachi is very good in this fight. Remember, you need to have 1 Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Usopp, and Nami on your team in order to fulfill all the conditions for the Chopper Man mission to get that crew unit, the Straw Hat Crew East Blue unit with the really good support effect. Uso Hachi is great because he has special cooldown reduction, he removes a lot of defensive effects, he's just a great unit overall. Another really good unit is going to be Time Skip Nami. She's really solid. She doesn't really help you too much, but she has a really powerful sailor effect where she resists 1 turn of paralysis on your entire team. Paralysis does happen in this fight, so having an ability to resist some of that is pretty good. Also, Legend Nami is a pretty good replacement for that as well. And Snakeman is probably one of the best Luffy characters in the game, and he helps a lot here because you can use him to get multiple turns of an orb boost, and his captain effect obviously is still very strong. In terms of Sanji characters, Soba Mask is pretty solid here as well, but I do think that the best one to use in most cases is going to be Sanji and Judge because of their amazing switch ability to resist all turns of special bind on themselves, as well as their special effect providing a 2x attack and orb boost two powerhouse characters, as well as providing the ability to remove paralysis with their special. It's just, Sanji and Judge are so good, and they are going to see a lot of play in the teams you're going to be seeing in this video today. They're just an exceptional unit. There aren't too many other great replacements for Sanji, I would feel, but I do think that like the most key units that you should definitely look out for are Usohachi, Raid Zoro, Snakeman. Those three in particular are quite common in a lot of the teams that take on the 11-star difficulty here. And in this team example you guys are seeing is a Soba team, which was actually the final team that I was trying to get my head around basically. And this team actually gets through it pretty well, honestly. The two key things for this team that you will have to note on is that there are a couple of key support units. First of all, we have the support rare recruit Koshiro on Zoro, so that we used him against the Smoker stage a little earlier to remove his resilience. And then we have the version 1 Rayleigh on the Snakeman to go ahead and give us the ability to remove the bind, which will be inflicted after we kill this Smoker on the final boss stage. And we are using the host ship, and we are using it because it gives us healing with the special. I was trying out the Zunisha ship, but it really wasn't working out, so I decided to put the host ship for the healing, and it does work out a lot better. So that's what I would suggest if you are aiming to build this specific team. But we'll go ahead and move on, and we'll talk about the next team that I have for you guys in this video today. The next team is a Snakeman and Kaido friend captain team. This team is actually very easy. This was the first team I used in order to clear this. Massive shout out to TheShatteredFortress, who was the original creator of this team. This team is just probably the best one that you can create. And the only real key support unit is version 1 Rayleigh, who is supporting the Snakeman, of course. And that means that on the final stage, when we are inflicted with the Despair and the Bind, we can use Rayleigh to remove all turns of the Bind, and 2 of the 3 turns of the Despair. Will have to do a little bit of stalling on the final boss stage, but no matter. Also for this team is, we are using the Zunisha ship, so it means that when we use Snakeman special, our powerhouse characters and striker character, or our powerhouse and cerebral characters, should I say, will have matching slots no matter what, so recovery in tandem mechanic is beneficial. Otherwise, if you don't have Zunisha, then sometimes when you switch with Sanji and Judge, the tandem slot won't be beneficial for them. And also when you use the Snakeman special, if you have a tandem or recovery orb, it can be a bit troublesome. So that's why, you know, when we have the Zunisha ship, it does kind of make it a bit easier, basically. And even though the Zunisha ship doesn't really boost the Zoro, or it doesn't boost the Usohachi, and even Kaido Captain does not boost the Zoro or Usohachi, it doesn't really make a big difference because their effects are so good, they're just so useful for this fight in terms of utility. And of course, Kaido kind of carries a lot of the bosses before the final stage. On the final stage, you do get inflicted with normal attacks only, so don't rely on the Kaido damage to get you through the entire content, because that obviously is not going to work. But everything else just relating to that will help you through here. Obviously, something I forgot to say as well is that when you kill Toadskii on stage 5, she does reduce all of your Straw Hat characters' cooldowns by 10 turns, I think it is. I think it's all Straw Hat cooldowns, or it might be any cooldown. Either way, your cooldowns will get reduced after you kill her, so it means that you can use a lot of your specials on the Toadskii stage, and then, you know, obviously they're going to get refreshed, which helps out a lot. But I'll leave you guys with the rest of this clip, and then we'll go ahead and talk about the next team, which again is also another Snakeman team. So the second last team in this video is yet again another Snakeman team, but this time around we are using a little bit of different characters. This is double Snakeman this time, not using a friend Captain Kaido, and you can see that we're using a lot of obscure units this time around. We're using, again, Uso Hachi because he's really good, but then we're using Christmas Nami, we're also using Zorojuro, so those two characters get type advantage, obviously, on the final stage, and then we've got the V1 Sanji 6+, which is a pretty decent unit because we can use him on the first turn of the final stage, and we'll get a guaranteed full board of slots because the preemptive of the final stage will give you either block orbs or matching orbs, and Sanji changes block orbs into matching, so he's a really, really nice unit on top of also giving a chain boost, but Snakeman also provides a chain boost, but yeah, Sanji's basically only going to be used for that, but basically the Sanji legends are going to be your best friends basically because a lot of the other Sanji characters in the game aren't super amazing, I would say. Definitely the Sanji legends are the best versions of Sanji that you could be bringing to this particular fight. Also, massive shout out to Abel Lee for creating this specific variation of the Straw Hat Escape from LOGUETOWN team as well. So this team is also very solid, and I would suggest using it if you have the available units. It was definitely a very solid team for this particular event. But then we'll go ahead and talk about the final team I have for you guys in this video today. So I'll leave you guys with this clip, and we'll pick it up once we get to the final team. The final team in this video is a Stampede Luffy with friend captain Kaido team. Massive shout out to my man Subconsi for creating this particular team. Even though we have Onami on the team, who is not boosted by the Stampede Luffy, obviously Kaido is going to be boosting him, and obviously you have characters like the Zoro. I'm pretty sure he's a slasher character. He might be Powerhouse. I can't remember exactly. And then you've also got Usohachi, who again is not going to be boosted on the Kaido side of things. But this team, all in all, does actually get the job done. We are using the Megalo ship to reduce damage taken, but again, not super necessary. In hindsight, I probably would suggest using the Zunisha ship to enable you to get slightly higher chances of beneficial slots, because in certain situations here, if your Stampede Luffy does not get a matching slot, you could literally lose your run. But if you have the Zunisha ship, it means that getting, a recovery or beneficial or getting a tandem or beneficial is a lot easier, right? So I probably would suggest using that instead of the Megalo ship, but it still gets the job done. We are using the Knight Zoro here, and the only reason why this guy is being used is because he's an ore blocker. We are also using limited rare recruit Toshigi as a support character once again, and Rayleigh as a support once again. All these teams are using Rayleigh as a support character just because of his amazing utility. Without him, it definitely makes it a bit more tricky. I'm pretty sure there are ways around it. I haven't looked into it too much myself personally, but I'm pretty sure there are ways around it if you don't have Rayleigh. Obviously, it would involve more stall or a different support effect, but that's really good, this team. This team is very, very strong and does get the job done. So potentially, if you don't have Snakeman, but you have Stampede Luffy, this might be a team that you might want to look into. But that is going to wrap up this video today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to go ahead and do this and get your really juicy rewards. But if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.